I was saying before the event, I was so overwhelmed, but everything went according to plan. And for me, bringing everyone into the room and really networking and celebrating Investor of the Year award and getting my message out to everyone about getting education to the right people and helping people network, that's what tonight was all about.
Your background doesn't matter. Who you are at this moment doesn't matter. You need to start with where you are, what you have, and plugging into a network where other people are doing what you're wanting to do.
One of the themes of the competition was to inspire South Africans to invest in property. And which better way to do that than to put something that they already understand so well from the way that we were raised in our families and our communities. So that's why it's not just my award. I mean, it's for all South Africans, it's for all our members. It's for saying that this thing that we have been doing for so many years can actually be used as a vehicle to create wealth, not just to buy groceries and just consume and consume and consume. We can actually use it as a wealth creation vehicle.
There's like-minded people. SAPIN represents property, that's what it represents. And everyone who's coming through there is not doing a whole lot of other things. They are in property, so that's the subject.
I would say the thing that makes SAPIN different from other property communities is the actual involvement, the actual connection with the people, the personal touch that there is.
And I think tonight, what it really meant for the delegates and the contestants is it really showed them what the SA Property Investors Network is really about. That we are going out there, we are changing lives, we are educating people. And more importantly, they're part of a family and a community. This is a South African community of like-minded property investors. And I think for everyone, they got that message tonight.
I've got a whole lot of other people that I can quickly call. If I'm getting stuck, I can go through. There's other professionals that are also now coming into SAPIN, and all of these professionals are professionals in their own right, attorneys, you name it, to tilers, builders, and it's people that you generally not meet out there.
So one thing that I'm really proud of in 2019 is seeing the growth in the network. So building Johannesburg, building Pretoria, building Soweto, building Cape Town, Durban, and venturing into areas like Pietermaritzburg. The growth of our network is growing at an exponential level, and that is my number one moment.
It's the like-mindedness of everyone. Everybody's out here, they're passionate about property, they're passionate about finding good deals and making sure that everything is done right. It's not just about doing property, but it's about doing property right. And you've got this amazing support network of people that want to see you succeed. So I think for me, that's the big thing, that everybody who is part of the SAPIN network wants to see you succeed in one way or another.
It's because you're just an average guy and you've actually won the Investor of the Year award. Anyone can do property. You need two things. You need to have the right education, but you also need to have the support and get connected. And to me, my message to anyone listening to this video is before you buy that property, join SAPIN, get the right education, let us help you build that roadmap and go out and invest in property.
Awesome. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the SAPIN membership webinar. So the first thing I want to know from all of you is just quickly tell me two things. Where are you in the country right now? You Joburg, Durban, Cape Town, PE, and what level of membership are you? Are you a free member? Is this the first time you're joining SAPIN? Are you already a professional member or an intermediate member? Just very quickly in that chat box, let me know where you are in the country and what level of membership are you at right now. I've got a presentation for you tonight. I want to share a bit of the vision as to where we go with the SA Property Investors Network. Where did we come from? I want to share some success stories with you. And I've asked a few of the SAPIN members if they could join us live this evening to share some of their successes as a SAPIN member. So please get your fingers busy and get typing in that book, in the chat box. Jaco, good to see you. From Belgium, investing in Pretoria. You're a professional member. Jaco, how's that block of flats going? Did you put it across the line or are you still struggling with it? Let us know. Linda Kule, hello, I'm in Durban, a professional member. Fantastic. Okay, and Tabi Singh is a free member from Joburg. Fantastic. Angus, Joburg from intermediate. Okay, Denzel is a free member at this stage. Palisandes from East London. That's great. So we have people from all over the country. Upasing says that you're from Centurion and you're a free member. So we have a very good mix of free members, intermediate members, and professional members. In the meantime, Dan, why don't you turn your camera on and just say how's it to everyone? Hey, everyone. And you're going to be sharing your success later. And who else is our guest this evening? Jamina, you want to say hello very quickly? Just introduce yourself and I'll bring you on later for your success story.
Awesome. How are you doing, Anzu? Hi there, everyone. My name is Daniel Kizadi. Buzzing to be here. Can't wait to get to know each and every single one of you. And yeah, I am a professional member with SAPIN, but yeah, I think I will talk more about that later, Anzu. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant, 100%. And Jamina, would you like to try? Is your internet signal okay that side?
I hope it stays stable. Good evening,
Excellent.
everyone. I am a property investor. I'm a member of SAPIN. I'm a professional member, and I'm in Pretoria and surrounding areas. That's my area.
Okay, brilliant. And I'll bring you on later on, hey, Jamina, and we'll talk about that, which will be great. Yes, we have loads of messages here, which is awesome. Thank you, Jamina and Daniel. Kuruman, Max from Kuruman, intermediate member, Soweto, George from Soweto, professional member. Okay, so very quickly, tell me then, the people that are professional members, we seem to have a lot of professional members on this evening. For the people that are perhaps free members or intermediate, what is the main reason why you're part of the professional membership? What is the one benefit that you're getting through that membership? Just share with all of us, because I want to share with all of you this evening. Why are we mixing up the memberships? And Dave, guess what? We're going to change these logos, right? I've got to get some new banners because we've refreshed SAPIN. We've got new logos. We've got a fresh look with all our memberships, and we've added some really, really cool benefits to the intermediate and the professional memberships. The price points are staying exactly the same. The price points are the same. We've just added more benefits. So I want to go through, look, I'll be with you for the next 45 minutes, and I want to share how some of our current members have used the benefits of the SA Property Investors Network. Why are they members? What are they getting out of the membership? And I want to make sure that every single one of you, I want to make sure that you all are using the benefits, because if you use the benefits of the SA Property Investors Network, you can actually make money through your membership. You'll save a lot of money, but you can actually make money out of being a member. I know it sounds crazy, but you can. And I want to share that with you. And then what Dave will do for Daniel and Jamina is just allow them to share their videos as well, their actual cameras. Cool. Jerry, good to see you there. You're a free member. Don't worry, Dan and Jamina, Dave will sort you out. Okay, cool. So let me share my screen. There we go, Dan, handsome Dan, and Jamina. There we go. Say hi, Dan and Jamina, everyone. Okay, so I am going to share this. Let me get my presentation up. Okay, let me get my presenter up. Give me a second while I get this rocking and rolling. I'll put a really cool present together for all of you tonight. Okay, so you should all be able to see my screen. They will give me thumbs up in the chat box if you're all good there. Okay, Kerry Lee says the masterclass is very beneficial. All good, fantastic. Okay, so ladies and gents, I think there are some brand new people. So some of you are professional members and some of you know what the benefits are. But please, for the people that are free members, there are some individuals I've been told that are on this webinar for the first time in terms of SAPIN. So they don't actually know what the membership benefits are. So for those of you, Dexter, you know exactly what the score is. For those of you that are already members and you're using all the benefits, just bear with me while I also go through the basics of all the basic benefits for the beginners here this evening. But I think a lot of people don't realize the vision of this business and don't really know what we're trying to achieve. So right now, we are South Africa's largest property ecosystem. And I want to go through with you in a few minutes' time, where did SAPIN come from? And where is SAPIN going? And why is that important to you? Because right now, you're in an environment where you have the ability to network with like-minded property investors within SAPIN. You have the ability to go to the Property Academy, and whether you want to learn more about Airbnb or buy-to-let or installment sale agreements, or you feel that you need a coach, that's what the Academy is for. Then we have the Investor of the Year, which is a social platform for entrepreneurs to be recognized in South Africa. And quite a few of you have already entered. That's the 18th of November. Then we have the brokerage, where the brokerage go out and find investment grade properties for the network. They raise capital for investors. And then we have preferential for those of you with a buy-to-let portfolio where you need assistance in letting out the property. So yes, we started with the SA Property Investors Network, and naturally over the last 7 years, we've evolved into an ecosystem. So it doesn't matter if you need to raise capital, find deals, get educated, or go find a letting agency solution. We have everything for you within our ecosystem. And just before I move on, just a bit about myself for the people that I haven't met before. I'm also a property investor like you, Dexter, like you, Jamina, like you, Daniel, like you, Kurbis. I'm from the East Rand of Johannesburg. I invest in buy-to-lets. I do multi-lets. I flip properties. I'm now building. So I've been doing that for about 15 years, both in England and South Africa. And I've got a UK letting business that I've had since 2007. And of course, I'm the MD of a company called Square Feet here in South Africa. So I still don't know everything. I'm learning myself. I still put myself through workshops. I myself have a property coach. I utilize the benefits of the professional membership within SAPIN. So I'm here just to let you know that I'm just an average guy from Edenvale, like you all, right? And all I want to do, ladies and gents, is I want to build wealth in property. And as an investor, needing the benefits, I thought, well, why don't I build a business around that to help serve all of you and help you build a profitable business in property? So that's why I do what I do. So for tonight, as I said, I'll be with you for about 45 minutes, now 40 minutes. And I just want to share with you benefits. I want to introduce a company called Law Shield. So I want to share with all of you how you can get legal advice on demand and how you can get 40% off your attorney fees. And I want you to hear from some of the other SAPIN members. And in the chat box, I want you to let me know. Send us a message if there's anything specific that you want to find out this evening. In fact, let me check that box. Okay, cool. So everything is going and we have a lot of people joining, which is fantastic. So as most of you already know, within the SA Property Investors Network, what do we do? So through our memberships, we teach individuals and we set teams up in Johannesburg, Soweto, Centurion, Cape Town, Durban, Bloemfontein, Port Elizabeth, where we have area managers across the country where, yes, we are based here in Joburg. There's a lot of activity happening in Joburg. And yes, we have people from Durban, Cape Town, Bloemfontein investing in Joburg. But here's the thing, there's opportunity all around South Africa. So we teach individuals how to run a successful property business. We also enable them by giving them the right tools and the right education and the right path in terms of how do you actually do it. And we as a company are growing for the benefit of our members. And hopefully by the end of this webinar, hopefully by the end of the session, you will know where you fit in. So yes, a lot of you are already professional members. And all I'm going to do for you tonight is merely share the extra benefits for you. But there's some people that are free tonight. Some of you are on foundation. You actually don't know what's happening on the professional membership. So that's also why we're having this webinar, to share that information with you, if that's okay with everyone. And I think what is really cool is I was looking at these pictures the other day and I thought, let me add them into the presentation. This was back in 2014. You see, when I moved back to South Africa in 2013, I really wanted to get involved in a property networking company. And guess what? I couldn't find any. And I moved back to South Africa in 2013, actually, and I became an estate agent for Keller Williams in Edenvale. So I thought, how can I upskill my knowledge? And that's actually a trailer on the side of a road with properties for sale. And what I'll do is I'll book the trailer for a day on Saturday, and then people stop their cars and get out, and I chat to them, and I upskilled myself. I was mentored by the principal of Keller Williams with regards to how do you offer to purchasers work? How do you go list properties? And at that estate agency, I thought, well, hey, let me run a networking event. And as you can see, it's actually a very small room. Most of those guys in there were the agents of Keller Williams. That's my ex-business partner, Warren, talking on freedom through property. And that's when I realized, I mean, it is after the next session, after that session, where I started to see traction going, geez, you know, this is 2014. People are needing the support, the connections, the education. You know, some people get lonely, some people get demotivated. Can I ask you all a question very quickly? Who of you in the last few months have maybe felt a bit down, you felt a bit lonely, you felt a bit, or you've been doubting if property actually works? To be honest with me, some of you I know are rocking and rolling, you're doing a great job, you know, loads of deals. But if any of you out there felt lonely or felt, I don't know, geez, property is just so difficult, it doesn't work, let me know in that chat box, please. Let me know in that chat box if anyone has felt those emotions, because I used to feel those emotions where, geez, things were so difficult, they were tough. And what I realized is being part of a network. We are there, myself, my team, Jamina, Daniel, Dave, Dexter's doing a fantastic job in helping South Africans create wealth, because I believe that what South Africa needs right now is it needs more property entrepreneurs to create more jobs, to create more success. Remember that success breeds success, and property is not as easy as people think it is. I'm sure you all agree with me on that. But property is easier when you got people who'll support you, people that'll help you. And I'm sure, Dexter, you'll put that on there, won't you? Where you helping that young guy with his chicken farm, you supporting the guy. And so going back to my story about 2014, yes, and Kerry Lee says that my coach helped me through those times. Absolutely. It's support that everyone needs. From that, I never ever missed an event. For full 7 years, I kept building SAPIN, the SA Property Investors Network, to a point where now we are South Africa's largest network. We've partnered with Tel Africa, where we get great discounts. Preferentials, part of our ecosystem. Uber Home Loans is now on board with the SA Property Investors Network. Entergen to help you all with your business, your tax structure. Smartwell, every single one of you should have a will. And in fact, I wasn't going to do this. And just before I go there, let me look at the comments. Kali says that would be me. Absolutely. Angus, yep, feels hard. Felt hard. Kerry, yes, thank you. Yes, I've been finding it scary to even start. Feeling overwhelmed, says Hajira, absolutely. And it is. Taking the first step, it's called fear, the false evidence appearing real. Taking the first step is very, very difficult, and you don't want to make a mistake, which is why you need the support. And I can see Jean-Paul's joined us. Fantastic. Let's just make sure he's a panelist, on the panelist. And with wills, right? Through SAPIN now, you can get a free will. The reason I say that is, did you all know that only 30% of South Africans right now, 30% of South Africans living in this country, and how many, there's about 64 million of us, only 30% have a will, of which the majority of the 30% have not updated their will in the last few years, so it's actually pointless. So one thing through SAPIN is, it's one thing creating wealth and buying the properties and getting the trusts and doing all that, but if you don't have the basics in place, like the right structures, and the correct will in place, you're just building up this property portfolio to one day leave a huge mess for your husband or your wife or your kids. So I want to make sure that every single one of you are protected. That's where Entergen come in. Make sure that you're buying in the right structures, and make sure that you're keeping your will up to date as you create your wealth. Some of you may get divorced, you may have more kids, you may move overseas, whatever it might be. And in fact, Dave, do me a favor, just as I'm talking, just get a link for the smart will. For those of you that A, don't have a will, it's free, won't cost you anything. And B, you're not keeping your will up to date and you want a digital will, where yes, they will actually store it for you as well. Just post the link on there and have a look at it. And Absa Bank's a partner of ours. I mean, it's a third year. We'll be working with Absa Bank next year as well. They have a great buy-to-let product for our buy-to-let investors. Auction Inc. is there to help us find great investment deals. TPN, Lightstone, Bruno, some of our attorneys. And so what we're doing is we're building up these partners. We're bringing these property professionals and partners on board for the benefit of you. And you might be asking, but why are you doing that? We're doing it because I think because of my journey that I've been through. And I've realized that to become a successful property investor, you need to be connected to the right partners. Because when you try to do things yourself and you use partners that are not trusted, you go use just anyone in the industry, you can burn your fingers very quickly. And as a property investor myself, I use all of them. I use Absa Bank, I use Intergen, I use Smartwall, the World, I use Tile Africa all the time. In fact, it's my second office now. I buy all my tiles from there. So myself, I'm a property investor. Every partner I've brought on, I am using every single one of them. If it works for me, the chances are it's going to work for you. And I'm also doing it because I believe in abundance. There's more deals to go around. I believe in sharing ideas and supporting. For those of you that know me personally, and there's a few people on this call, Jean-Paul, you'll know this as well. Dexter will know this. Cully will know this. Jamina will know this. I give as much as I can to all of you, right? Because I believe in abundance, and I believe that every single one of us on this call is on this call for a reason, and that we can all make success out of property. Because some of you, and I want to know from some of you right now, what are your burning points? So just talk to me in that chat box. Just talk to me. What is it? Do you want to grow a profitable portfolio? Do you have a negative cash flow property portfolio? Do you feel stuck? Are you worried about how to get started? Are you scared? Are you frustrated with your portfolio? Just very quickly tell me. I'll give you a minute. Just let me know where you are. Where are you with that? Okay, Hajira says, worried about how to get started. Okay, fantastic. So Hajira, hopefully by the end of this webinar, I would have shared with you how to get started. What is the first step? And Hajira, just remind me what level of membership you are. Elizabeth or Tombi, you're from Bloemfontein, great. Denzel says how to get started. Is it Gerald or Jerry getting started with limited resources? Zelda says funding. Gugu from Durban, is it? Not growing my portfolio as quickly as I'd like to. Okay, so I'm not at any level. First time hearing about this network. Okay, great, Azira. Tabisa stuck growing a profitable property portfolio. Dr. Valeria, is that right? Papelli says I feel stuck, have negative. Mongesi's got negative cash flowing properties, and you want to grow a positive cash flow portfolio. How to do due diligence faster? Stuck, getting started. Okay, so there's a common theme here. Can you all see this in the chat box? People are feeling stuck and getting started. Look, getting started is one of the most difficult things. I'll tell you why. It's think about this. I'm actually going to stop my share because I want to focus on you. Getting started is very difficult because you don't want to make a mistake. It's very easy to go out there. And in fact, Jean-Paul, I want to bring you up in a minute or two. David, just make sure you make your co-host. I want to get Jean-Paul up because Jean-Paul's a prime example of someone that knew nothing about property investments. He's joined SAPIN and TPA. And it's very easy for any one of you right now to go to an agent, buy a property, but you actually have no idea. Did I buy right? The purchase price, purchase price versus asking, is it correct? Am I getting the right rental? Do I have rental guarantees in place? Did I buy in the right structure? There are so many questions that are going to hit you. And if you make the wrong decision, it could actually take you out, or you could actually lose money from that. So if Jean-Paul's there, I will ask him to come on, or I'll bring him on a little bit later on. So look, I'll share some golden tips with some of you. I've got my 7 golden rules is coming up in about 20 minutes. And I also want to share with you in a minute more about the 7. So there's actually Andrew Walker's 7-step plan, but there's also the golden rules. So make sure that you do get pen and paper out. Okay, and I'm going to bring up all my guests a little bit later on. Okay, so desktop number 2. Let's get that rolling. So this is what, so to share with you, right, the people that are getting stuck. So if you are stuck or you're not quite sure how to get started, what SAPIN's going to do for you, right? And this is why the majority of people are professional members with us at the moment, because part of the membership and the group coaching and the support you're going to get in the mastermind is it's the $1 million question. How do you set up and run a profitable property business? How do you buy positive cash flow properties? It's actually, put it this way, it's actually very easy to do it. You've just got to know how, right? It's actually not difficult. You've got to learn how to run the numbers. So your education, this is where the fundamental course, in fact, write this down for me, everyone. Write down SA Fundamental Course, 12 modules. You need to understand how to do the due diligence on a property. And how do you get momentum and not get stuck? Why is it? Think about this. Why is it there's people in the network right now? Take, what's his name? Ben. Ben's entered Investor of the Year. He's 24 years old. I don't know if he's on with us tonight, but he's entered Investor of the Year. How is a 24-year-old who had no money, but he's managed to buy 6 properties through COVID, in the last 18 months? He's bought 6 properties, Airbnb, rent-to-rent. He's raised angel finance, he's done 6 deals. He's 24 years old. Why is it that he's not stuck? Can anyone tell me why he's not stuck? Anyone tell me why he's not stuck? Because think about it, 24 years old. I'll tell you what's happened. It took him a few years to get to the point. So through SAPIN, we helped him take that first step. And a big thing for me, ladies and gents, is he's built confidence, right? He's built confidence. Big thing SAPIN's going to give is going to give you. I'm going to share with you how it's going to do it, because yes, there's the mastermind we're going to talk about. There's the group coaching that you're all going to get when you join the professional membership. So this is the 7-step success plan I want you all to write down. Maybe get pen and paper and take notes of this. This is what I tell people. This is what I show people, and I'll do this actually on the one-day property workshop. So I'll just give you guys all a second. Then we check my chat box. What have I got over here? Okay, Polito says he has a coach. He did have a coach. Rogero says, wow, I'm motivated by success. Wait for the next success story. Yep. Mongezi's got a very strong network. Absolutely. Angus says, power team. Yep, he's got a power team. So this is it, right? Step number 1, all of you. Hajira. And for all the people getting started in property, so you're getting started, or if you already got started, use as a recap. What is your plan, right? And what is your plan? Of course, this is where the mastermind is going to help you. So right there, what is your plan? In brackets, right? Monthly mastermind. What's your plan? So let me pick on Daniel. So Daniel Kazadi, what's your plan in property? Are you looking at flipping properties? Do you need to generate X amount of rental income? What is your plan? What are you trying to achieve? What is that end goal? So what is your plan? Is the conversation, you're all on a different journey, different cities, different level of education, different aspirations. What do you want to achieve out of property? Ask yourself that question. And tonight, after the webinar, ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? Is it a certain amount of rental income, passive income? Do I need to generate loads of cash? What is it that you really want to achieve? The second question you're going to be asking yourself is, what is your strategy? Identify it. Is it buy to let, getting started, keep it simple? Are you struggling with getting bonds? So now we've got to go down the road of rent to rent, where we rent a property and rent it back out for cash flow, installment sale agreements. Do some of you want to become developers? Do some of you want to specialize in student accommodation? What about converting commercial buildings back into residential apartments? It's a very popular strategy right now. So this is where it gets a bit difficult for a lot of people, because they don't quite know what should their strategy be. Well, which way should they look? People go, but Andrew, how do I get started? Okay, well, we know what the plan is. We're going to get X amounts of rental income or passive income. Yes, we do. Okay, great. So let's now look at all the different strategies. And this may happen. This takes some people a few weeks. Something which I will personally be covering on the monthly mastermind. Looking at, okay, so that's depending on, and write this down for me, depending on how much capital you have or can get, so write that down, how much capital have I got or can I get, so write that down. How much time do you have available? And how much, and what experience do you have in property? So how much experience do you have? How much time do you have available? And how much capital have you got or can you get? Think about it. Let's say, Hajira, you've never bought a property, right? You're starting out in property. The worst thing you can go do is become a developer overnight. It's not going to happen. So Hajira, it may be that you must start with the basic buy-to-let, where as a SAPIN member, we can show you how to get your first successful property. Same as Cully, your first successful property, right? And your strategy, whereas someone like Daniel now, and Daniel's been investing for a number of years, he's going to be looking for more high risk properties and getting into bigger deals because he's got the advice, or he's got the experience on the ground now. Because once you now identify what your strategy is, you can then choose the area you want to invest. Think about it. If you all decide that you want to get into student accommodation, you're not going to go buy a property that's 15 kilometers away from the university, are you? No. You're going to choose an area where the demand is. So depending if you're choosing the flipping strategy or the buy-to-let or student accommodation, you're going to choose an area where you know there's a high demand for that specific strategy. Once you've chosen the area, then we must start putting a marketing plan in place. Once you've chosen the area, you've got to put a marketing plan in place. What do I mean about that? Look, here's the thing. What if I said to you, the issue isn't the finance, isn't finding the money. The issue is finding the right deal. You see, anybody can go to an agent and just pick up a property. That's not rocket science, or a developer and buy off plan. Not everyone knows how to get direct to an owner. How do you negotiate seller financing? How do you negotiate installment sale agreements? How do you create a win-win situation? Don't get me wrong, I still work with estate agents, but also I love working direct with sellers. But remember, when you do get direct to seller, and yes, through the memberships, we'll show you various different marketing plans that you can deploy in your area that you've chosen. But you also need to know how to deal with the leads. When the leads come in and there's lead generation, how does that look? How do you negotiate the deal? Now the leads come in, you've spoken to the owner, how do you analyze the deal, right? So how do you run the numbers? How do you do area research? I'm going to share with you the importance in a few minutes about Lightstone and TPN. So where you write and analyze the deal on a piece of paper right now, just put in brackets, Lightstone and TPN is part of your area research. And then submitting the offer, because now you get to a point where, geez, Andrew, I chose the strategy, or Andrew, this is my plan. So Jerry, I'm going to pick a new tonight. This is my plan. This is the strategy I'm going for. This is the area I'm going for. Thanks to the membership, this is the marketing plan. I've learned how to negotiate the deal. I've got the deal, and this is the point where a lot of you do get stuck. A lot of you get stuck. And in fact, I just want to see, is Jean-Paul available now by any chance or not? Just want to see if Jean-Paul is there, because
yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you able to turn on your camera?
I'm just trying to figure out how to do that.
Cool. If you can't turn on your camera, don't stress. It would be cool if you can. So everyone, just introduce Jean-Paul. Jean-Paul is part of the SAPIN professional membership. And Jean-Paul is also one of our personal coaching students here in Edenvale, and he's getting massive success. His attitude is, listen to your coach, listen to the network, and just get out there and make things happen. It took a few weeks for Jean-Paul to get his very first property deal. And I just asked Jean-Paul if you could maybe just share with us, and Jean-Paul, this was the point where you're very nervous about submitting an offer, but maybe just a quick introduction, and let's talk about why you're a SAPIN member, and talk to us around, you've used, in fact, Jean-Paul, if I'm not mistaken, is the first professional member in South Africa to use Law Shield, which is a new benefit to professional members. So Jean-Paul, I don't know if you know that, but you're the first one to use that service. So maybe go for it. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm glad I was the first one to use that service. It was highly useful. Yeah, so I mean, we obviously we had a lot of challenges with COVID, and we came across the Property Academy through one of the other coaches, and it was nerve-wracking in the beginning. It was definitely not on my bingo card for this year, and you know, it took a while to get the ball rolling, but you know, we trusted in the coaches, we trusted in the network. Whenever we've reached out to somebody in the network for assistance or guidance or some knowledge, everyone has just come to the party. It's like having a whole gang of big brothers there that back you up. So me being absolutely green and a novice in terms of property investment, yeah, the first OTP was probably the hardest one to put together. Now I'm probably on about 5 or 6 a week.
Yeah, and that's no joke. That's 5 or 6. And tell me, how did it work with Law Shield? Because Law Shield is one of the new benefits that we've now implemented and brought in to the professional membership. What happened?
So, I mean, obviously I made contact with Bruno, and we were pulling the trigger a little bit early. So he fast-tracked me, got me hooked up on their WhatsApp line. I communicated with a couple of the attorneys on there with some of my concerns and issues, and they came back to me with a couple of different options which were on the money with what I needed. So, you know, we were able to you know, put the things in place that we needed to put in place.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jean-Paul. And that's Law Shield, right? So guys like Jean-Paul who are out there, they're viewing properties, they've got an offer to purchase, whether it's the estate agent OTP or your own OTP. You may just want to get a property attorney to look over it. So it's purely, Law Shield is for investors that need on-demand assistance with OTPs. And think about it, if you go sit with a property attorney, you could pay 2,500 Rand a month for an hour to understand a few clauses, right? With Law Shield OTP assistant for professional members, you now have the ability to communicate directly with an attorney to say, I'm about to submit the offer, are my clauses right? Or the estate agent told me I can't or I can do this, or the seller saying this, and you just want to bounce some ideas off of the attorney. That is now available to all the professional members right now. And Hajira, you're talking about, you know, how inspirational Ben's story was. I want to share this with you. Is anyone from Durban? Anyone from Durban? There's a few people from Durban. And thank you very much, Jean-Paul. I really appreciate it. And by the way, as well, so who's from Durban? Let me know, does anyone see value in Law Shield having the ability to engage with an attorney around the OTP? Because you don't want to make a mistake on that. You want to make sure that you have, you want to make sure that you've got protection and that you're not making the wrong decision in the OTP. Does anyone see any value in that? Let me know. Yaku says absolutely. Okay, so we've got a few people from Durban, which is great as well. So Kerry Lee says, need to understand Law Shield more. Absolutely, Kerry, I will be talking about that tonight, but it's very simple, Kerry, very simple. You need a bit of assistance or a soundboard, or is this legal? Can I put this clause in? Does this work? What can I do? What can't I do? Anything to do around offer to purchase. That's the reason Law Shield now exists. Okay, Kali says definitely. Mongezi's from Richards Bay, fantastic. Longawa says definitely see value in that. Great. So let me just introduce it. I've got a video. So Emma and Tom, prime example. They joined the ecosystem. So they came in through SAPIN and the Property Academy, where yes, they did get a property coach. More importantly, they leveraged the whole of SAPIN. This is what happened. And yes, it's pretty crazy. So let me ask you all a question, okay? I need all of you to answer. All of you have to answer this next question. And who do we have? Let me go to see who's our attendees. Jacose, Jane, Jonathan. Good to see Jonathan. Kadlejo, Chomotso, Lasedi. I'm going to ask you all a question. I want you all to answer. Mando, Mandash, Lasei, Maraka, Maxon, Lamni, Mongezi. Yes, quite a lot of people on with us right now. Peter Murray, Pendeka, Peleng, Roberts, Sabelo. Good to see you, Sabelo. Heard you doing some great things as well, which is good. Stevens, Vaughan, Tanya. Wow, got a lot of new names here. Terence. Okay, so all of you. Thomas, good to see you on there. And yes, we'll sort out the other issue. Tristan, Vaughan, Vivek. Okay, here's the question. Okay, all good answer. Who would buy a property in another city without viewing it yourself? Would you view the property or would you buy it blind? Who would buy a property? You would buy a property without going to view it. So let me know. Who would go buy a property without seeing it? Okay, I'm seeing some yeses and some no's. Lumley says, not me, not unless I have a partner, says Gershwin. Some of you saying I prefer to view it first. View it or send a representative. I wouldn't unless if it is someone to view on my behalf. Not really, I'm not sure. George says no. Interesting. Not really limited management control, says Gerald. Angus says, view it first or ask someone to view it. Okay, so yeah, so there's some yeses and some no's. So I want to share this journey, right? This is Tom and Emma, and I've got a video. This was 2 weeks ago, I took the video. And I remember they joined the one-day workshop with the Academy, and part of the package they invested in, they got a professional SAPIN membership. Just like Jean-Paul, they were green, they've never invested in property. They're both professionals, they're both earning salaries, and they just feel like they want something more. They want to do something more, but they're also risk adverse. They're not the kind of couple that just goes and take risks. But they really want to buy a positive cash flowing property. So like most people, it took them a while to join, but as soon as they joined, we got them going along the journey. We started talking about what is your plan? What is your strategy? Let's make sure you get your business set up, your trusts and your companies. Let's make sure you're legal. Let's make sure you've got the right insurance in place. Let's make sure that you've got your will in place. Let's make sure that you are just protected when you get off the starting block. So a deal came about through the brokerage. Part of the ecosystem is the brokerage that supplies investment grade deals. Now, the problem was this. The problem was they're in Durban. The deal's in Joburg. Can anyone think about how they're thinking, oh my gosh, I've never invested in property. Now, all of a sudden, the network's saying there's a deal. It's a good opportunity. Do they take it or do they walk away? And this USA, I'll tell you what, Emma and Tom, the purpose of why SAPIN exists, the purpose of our existence is the support within the network. So why don't you leverage, because they're both professionals, so they're very, very busy at work. They've both got jobs. They can't just nip out and do things, never mind fly to Joburg. So what we did is, first thing we got is Danny from Rumu, a project manager, where we went around. I was there as well, because I'm the coach. I walked around with a WhatsApp video saying, let me walk you around, and slowly looked at the roof, looked at the ceilings, and I put them live on WhatsApp. We then got a couple builders in place to get, and part of the OTP was subject to due diligence, subject to getting the right costing from a builder. And I said, we'll take it one, and I was very scared. In fact, they wanted to pull out of the deal. There was a stage where they were pulling out the deal because of fear. Fear kicks in. Think about it. They're in Durban, the deal's in Joburg, but I said, the team's in Joburg. You've got to put your trust into the team. That's what Jean-Paul did. He put his trust into the team. It's why SAPIN exists, is we're all here to help and support each other. So anyways, we're at their property. They flew in 2 weeks ago. Some of you, Jean-Paul, you also met them. A few of you met them 2 weeks ago. Emma has only ever seen the property twice in her life. And the second time was 2 weeks ago. Let's just have a look. Let's just see what they have to say. And Dave, when I play the video, give me thumbs up that the audio is coming through okay. So guys, just introduce yourself. Tell me where you're from, what do you do, what's your profession, and then tell me why did you go through the Property Academy?
Okay, so we are Tom and Em Gibbs, and we're from Durban. At the moment, I'm working as a project manager in Emancipatory.
I'm an engineering manager at Sugar Mill down Durban.
And the reason we decided to go with SAPIN was because we realized that we couldn't do this on our own. And I think making sure that we've got people with experience, having none ourselves, allows us to put our trust in those people. So.
Absolutely. So you said you're from Durban, right?
Yep.
And you are in Johannesburg right now. And I remember speaking to you guys in 2020 about the coaching, the SAPIN network, how the SAPIN network can help you. Maybe just talk to us about the power team members that you used, and how many times have you actually seen this property?
Okay, so we've used pretty much everybody from the SAPIN network, from our coach, and then starting with the brokerage. They introduced us to the property through the brokerage. Obviously we started, and then going through to the, what's the guy called? The conveyancing attorneys. They helped us out. Christian Janssen. Danny from Rumu has helped us out from project management, and through Danny, our builder Ricky from RFT Projects. Who else? I think that's a lot of people. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you've leveraged the whole network, which is great. That's the whole purpose of the SA Property Investors Network, right? Tell us about the property. Just give me high-level numbers. What did you pay? What was the asking price, if you do remember? What's the purchase price? Roughly the refurb cost. Talk around the mortgage, because you've bonded at 1.8 as well.
Yeah.
So how does all that look?
So as far as I know, the asking price, or it was on the market for 1.45, and we purchased for 1.25 through the brokerage, obviously. Then we registered our bond for 1.85, knowing that the property is actually valued at 2 million. So the bank was very happy to give us the additional amount, which we will be able to collect only in 6 months' time. Then our renovation costs approximately 600,000. And that the difference between purchase price and bond registration, we'll be able to get all that back.
Excellent. Now talk about the actual house. Is it a 1-bed house, a 3-bed house, and what was it and what is it now?
So it was originally a 4-bed house with a massive kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and 2 garages with a servants' quarters. What we've changed it into a multi-let, 2 3-bed units, and then the garage into a 2-bedroom unit. One of the 3-bedroom units has 2 bathrooms and the other one has 1.
Excellent. Now, before we talk about what's the next step for this project, just Tom, tell me about your emotions going through this from the beginning.
Yeah, well, based out of Durban, we didn't actually see the property before we signed the OTP.
So you bought it blind, eh?
We bought it blind, through our coach, through SAPIN. He walked us through, took a video for us, and we signed it. And we only actually came up and saw it once it had been registered in our name.
So were you nervous?
Very, very nervous, but very excited at the same time. Yeah.
Exactly. And how about you, Emma? How are you feeling?
Oh goodness, we're so risk averse, both of us. Yeah. So we were very nervous, but excited to kind of get our journey started. So I think that really, lent us the push to get going.
And tell me, what's the plan now on this property?
So the plan is, this is a massive earth, which you can't really see from the side of the property, but we've got 2,000 square meters behind us. And so future development or future opportunity is to put in some additional units and develop the
And what about next door?
Next door there is a church, which has a lot of land being unused, so potential there to purchase up the land and develop more.
Develop.
Yeah.
Is it exciting?
It's so exciting.
Would you recommend this to anyone else?
Absolutely, 100%.
Everyone.
And I just want to know from you, what is one thing that you've got from your property coach?
Definitely just that gut feeling that he gives us, that yes, go ahead, do this, because we're so inexperienced, we weren't sure. So, okay, this is good. It's not stay on the fence, it's let's move forward. So, definitely.
Awesome. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
There we go. That is Emma and Tom. And in fact, just give them a virtual round of applause. You know, young couple taking the risk, moving forwards, super proud of them. So what did they actually do? Think about it. What did they do? They accessed the network. And there's a picture of us at the property. There's Emma, the investor, on the left. There's Ricky. He's a local builder here in Joburg. We've used Ricky a lot of times. I'm the property coach in the middle, the good-looking one. There's Danny from Rumu. She was the project manager every Friday. Every Friday she would visit the property. She's done a 360 tour from the beginning to the end. I'm happy to share that video with all of you. So Danny should be done with a 360 tour from the beginning to the end of how it was a 4-bed house and how it got transformed. And they moved walls around, they created passages. What they've done is absolutely amazing. And then there's Tom on the right-hand side, who is the investor. So is that awesome, ladies and gents? If Emma and Tom can do that, all of you can do it. And I mean, yes, Dexter, you've got your power team set up, and Daniel, you've got yours, and Jamina, you've got yours, and a lot of you who are professional members do have your own network now, which is great. For those of you that are starting on a property, you're getting started, it's a journey that you've got to go along. Remember that you don't want to do property by yourself. You need to have certain professionals around you to support you, to guide you, to protect you. Getting into property is like getting into any other industry. You've got to educate yourself with the fundamentals of property. And that is what you get through the SAPIN memberships. You've got to, and through the network, I mean, Jean-Paul knows this already. The amount of networking that Jean-Paul and Jamina was with me at TAP on Thursday night, two Thursdays ago, just networking with portfolio managers at TAP, with networking with other individuals, and having people around you like property attorneys to ensure that your OTPs are correct. Bond originators, letting agents, builders, brokerage. When you have the team, so in this scenario, or think about it, all Emma and Tom need to do is they just need to find the deal, find the money, find the deal, find the money. And they've surrounded themselves with the right team. And that is why they are successful. And so moving on from Emma and Tom, and yes, I'm seeing a lot of things coming through. Well done to Emma and Tom. I really wanted to join us, but they'll only be able to join us after 7. So I don't know if you'll actually get to meet them tonight. The other thing is it fair to say, ladies and gents, and some of you said earlier that doing due diligence or area research, you're getting stuck with, right? So as a professional property investor, yes, you need to have the network and the support, but you also need to have tools at your fingertips when it comes to due diligence. What am I talking about? This was a group of investors that we took around, and at the property, before the property, we spoke about area research, driving up to the property. Before you get to the property, what type of research should you be doing from home before we go view the property? And there's 2 very important documents I want to talk to you about. So yes, whether you're intermediate or a professional member, so all the free and the foundation memberships, this is a reason why people are either an intermediate or professional. I won't say purely, a lot of people join intermediate to get access to these reports. Because if you had to go get these reports directly, the cost of it versus being a SAPIN member is vastly different. So what is Lifestone? Let's just chat about Lifestone for a second. So Lifestone Property is going to give me some information about the property. So let's say I'm going to go view a property. Before I view it, I want to know who owns the property, when did they buy the property, what did they pay for the property, did they get a bond, did they get a second bond, a third bond? So very quickly, by downloading this report, I get a lot of information about who the owners are, information about, think about this, if somebody bought a property, a 3-bed townhouse last year for R1 million, they bonded it for R1 million, and then I'll go down the report, and the report tells me that there's sold comparables for R1 million. Is it fair to say there's no equity in that property? Because they only paid, well, they paid R1 million for it last year. They bonded, showing me that there's a Standard Bank bond for R1 million. And now they're asking 1.2 million or 1.3 million. But the market comparable of that property is R1 million. Very quickly, literally in less than 60 seconds, I know that it's not going to work for a flip. It probably won't work for a buy-to-let. Look, would it work for as an installment sale agreement? Maybe, but if it's a townhouse, probably not. So very quickly, I can ascertain whether this deal's actually going to work. And the great thing with Lifestone is I can do like for like. So you download the initial Lifestone report, you save it. You then download the same one, but now we do like for like. We have the ability to delete properties that are far away or they're much bigger or it's not a true comparable. Because remember, as a property investor, when you invest in property, you've got to make sure that you get the due diligence right, that you're paying the right price for property. In a lot of cases, you and I want to pay below market value property. Because write this down, you make money when you buy. Write that down for me. You make your money when you buy a property. And this is why I love Lightstone reports. Before I even go to the property, here's a great thing. If you feel a seller is asking too much, so in this case, on this report, it says comparable average sales price is 595,000. Right, so what Lightstone's done is pull the data from the deeds office saying, hey, in the last 1 to 2 years, in the immediate area, if I take up all those prices and divide it by how many there are, the average is 595, but the owner's asking 800. Look here, Mr. Owner. In fact, if you look at the sold prices in your area, the average is 595,000, which is a lot less than what you're asking. You can use Lightstone to motivate why your offer is going to be less than the asking price. And as you can see on there, it shows me that in this specific case, someone bonded the property, the bond amount of 175,000. Okay, so it's worth 595. There's a bond of 175. Is the equity? Yes. Part of the negotiation we're going to teach you in the mastermind is how do you negotiate? Remember these two things, ladies and gents. You've always got to look for why someone's selling. What's the motivation? Right? And is there equity? If we can get those 2 points, so someone's motivated, there's a reason why they would take less of an offer. Think about it logically. There's a reason why they would take a hit. And a lot of people are happy to take hits. And there is also equity, so we can clear their debt, give them some money to move on, and we can buy a property below market value. That is what I call cha-ching. And then what I can start doing is looking at, in that specific area, if I was to flip the property, what type of trends are happening in the area? Am I finding, are there lots of 3-bedroom townhouses, 1-bed flats, 6-bed houses? What type of property, freehold or sectional title? What type of property is selling the most in that specific area? Because if your strategy is to flip, but you're buying the wrong type of area where sales are dropping or they're lower, you may be stuck with a bad deal. That is why it's important that that is the reason why a lot of people are either intermediate or professional, because they need these tools. As a professional property investor, I call it the Bible in property. You can't do without it. So this was a picture of Mike's development. So some of you know Mike van Jelsveld, he's a property coach at the Property Academy. And this is where education comes in. So we spoke about, you need a network, write that down for me. You need to support a network. I think everyone agrees with that. You also need the tools being Lightstone and TPN, right? You need the tools in property. The third component that is very important, we don't want to do investing without this. Dexter, you'll know this. Jamina, you'll know this. Daniel, you'll know this. Dave will know this. Kelly will know this. You've also got to have access to education. How do I physically do it? You have to understand what the risks are. So in this specific property, it was a buying experience. I was playing an educational video of how Mike did his first development. What were the lessons he learned? How did he physically go from being a buy-to-let investor with negative cash flow properties, but he's built 5 houses, double stories. He sold them all for full market value. You don't just go do a development without the education. Would you all agree with me, ladies and gents? Do you all agree with me that you all need to have a good network around you? You could all do with support, couldn't you? You all need to have the tools in order to invest in property, but you also need to know yourself. How do I make my own decisions? How do I actually, yes, thank you for the question, but you need to be empowered yourself. You need to have your own idea, your own education in order to move forward. And that's where we can help you with that. And so for all the professional members, know this right now, that as a professional member, you now get access into the Property Academy space. There's a program, a course called the SA Fundamental Course. One of the new things we've implemented, just to explain very quickly, is as professional members within SAPIN, you now also get a 2,500 Rand voucher within the Academy, whether you want to use that to pay for a wealth builder ticket, whether you want to use that to purchase an OTP course, whether you want to use that to go towards coaching. You all professional members, you get a 2,500 Rand voucher. So as you join as a professional member, we're going to give you 2,500 Rand back to invest in education in the Academy. Okay, that's a new benefit we're putting into the professional membership. Coming back to the course, the fundamental course, and Daniel, I'm going to bring you up in about 2 minutes time to talk about your tiles. So the fundamental course, what is it? So it's so write this down for me. It's a lifetime access. It's 12 different modules where we cover the basics in property, all the fundamentals you need to know. So especially for those of you that are not sure where to start, you're not sure how to take their first step. Put it this way, I'd say 98% of people in my ecosystem have done the fundamental course. So it's lifetime access. You're going to get us like questionnaires as you go through the different modules. You can't go to the next section until you pass that specific module, because we want to make sure that you actually understand what you're learning. So what do we cover? Yes, initially we'll go through things like goal setting, mindset, opening up your horizons in terms of what's out there, what's available, cash strategies, flipping, development, student accommodation, multi-let, where I've interviewed a lot of property professionals going through buying at a sheriff auction versus buying at a private auction. There are so many different types of OTPs. So, and also things like creative finance, how to finance deals. You know what people say to me, Andrew, it's actually not the fundamentals of property. It's the fundamentals, and it's almost like an advanced course because we cover so much. And part of the fundamental course in SAPIN is you get to go through the videos, the PDFs, the education. We then pick you up out of there and we put you into what's called the group coaching and legal support. Maybe write that down. I'll talk about it in a minute. The group coaching and legal support. Okay, so that ties in with SAPIN and the fundamental course. So as professionals, so some of you may be intermediate and you want to upgrade to professional tonight. If you've done the fundamental course, don't worry. We can swap it out with a different course for you. It's a very common question that we get. And then also being part of intermediate or professional memberships, there's various discounts with service providers like preferential. In this case, Tell Africa, where you get 10% off as a professional member. The general public don't get that discount. I mean, Dan, maybe come on board and tell us your experience as a professional member and how you got 10% off.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. And hi there, everyone. My name is Daniel Kizadi. I am 22 years old and I am a student of Andrew Walker. And I'm super happy and grateful to be part of this awesome network and being part of and enjoying so much of the benefits that comes with being a professional member. In this case, for those of you that have bought tiles, they know tiles are extremely expensive. And I saved about 4,800 Rand on a deal I'm doing in Johannesburg. Super excited about that. And awesome. Thank you so much. Hey?
No, absolutely, Dan. And what are you building? I see there's a few photos. I just stuck the one in. What are you actually building?
So we're building extra rooms at the back of the main house. So the long-term goal is to turn the whole place into a multi-let. So preferential is actually helping us manage the 3 rooms. We should be getting a couple of tenants in by the end of the week. So that's an exciting project for me.
Absolutely. So if you think about it, ladies and gents, so 4,800. Look, if you're a professional member and you're paying 12,000 Rand a year to be a member, just off doing one deal, Daniel saved 4,800, which is almost 50% back on the membership. So if you think about 12,000 a year and you just go do a deal, 4,800, you then get 2,500 Rand back. You're almost getting towards, and there's other benefits like which I'll get to later on. You start getting to a point where actually, as a professional member, not only am I getting a free membership because of the benefits, you can actually earn off it, which is great. This brings you on to, and thank you very much, Dan. I'll be seeing you soon. Just so you all know, Daniel Kazadi will be heading up the SAPIN youth membership, which I won't talk about tonight. But if anyone is watching this right now, you need to join the if you're below or under the age of 30. If you're under the age of 30, we want you to be part of the SAPIN youth membership. And in fact, I'll just get Dave or Dan to post the link in the chat box. Only if you're under 30 years old, join the group and we'll give you more information then. I've also found that this is myself with a group of students. and one of the properties. This is an installment sale agreement where I took over someone's bond, and the opportunity with this property is I'm going to copy what next door did. This is an Edenvale by the Edenvale off-ramp, where I can build about 14 flats on the property. So this is a great thing, is I took over someone's property. I didn't pay them anything. It cost me about 10 grand, about 8.5 grand for the contract. I didn't have to get any credit checks. I didn't have to go through any legal things with the banks. I went to Bruno, some attorneys, and Leonora. They drew up the contract for me, and I sat with the owner to explain the benefits of an installment sale agreement. Do you all know what an installment sale agreement is? I think some of you do know, some of you don't know. Let me know in the chat box, say, yes, Andrew, I know exactly how to do installment sale agreements, or no, I don't. It's a great way to really understand how to service someone's bond. You move in and you can rent it out, you can flip it after 12 months. There's a few rules that you need to, need to understand. But this is the type of stuff that Dave and I talk about on the virtual group coaching and legal support on deals. So some of you may have known it as the support group for the fundamental course. It's evolved. It is now not just some of the other coaches. I've asked the legal team to jump on. So yes, there's the Mastermind. If you can all just do me a favor, write this down for me. Write Mastermind. I'm going to be getting involved with the Mastermind. Some of you are doing the Mastermind. So this Thursday, all professional members, I will be jumping on with Michael Bowen. I will personally be leading the Mastermind. And a big thing I want to get out of the Mastermind is accountability and goal setting. So I will personally be holding you all accountable. We'll be setting monthly goals, and you're going to get out there and you're going to achieve the goals, because sometimes you just need a push, a nudge, or you need someone to hold you accountable. What I'll then do within the group coaching is either myself and Dave, or the coaches, and the legal team will jump onto a call where it becomes a group discussion. And that is where you just have questions. Andrew, I've got a deal. I'm stuck. The seller's saying this, Andrew, something's going wrong with the renovation, the building. Dave, I don't understand how to find these deals, whatever it is. It's virtual group coaching and legal support. So now you're going to have the Mastermind for the professional members, which is accountability and accountability and support, and then goal setting, and then you're going to have the group coaching and legal support on deals. That's a new benefit for professional members. And we'll also the Mastermind is only for professional members. Virtual group coaching and legal support on deals is also for our intermediate members. So write that down for me. Intermediate and professional. And I think, a lot of people have asked me, why join the SA Property Investors Network? Hey, Emma, good to see you. So Emma is there. So Emma, I might even pick on you, eh? So I might ask Dave just to make you a co-host, because I didn't know, and I am running a bit over time. Is it okay with everyone? Are you all enjoying this? Are you getting some value? We are almost done. I still want to bring Jamina up, and I want to bring up, I'm going to ask Kelly just to introduce herself. Jean-Paul has been, so good to see you. That's fantastic. And I think it's a case of, I'm assuming the reason a lot of you are on this call is because you want to invest in property the right way. You need the guidance, you need the support. I'm not here to tell you what is the best membership for you. It really depends on where you are on your journey and what you want to achieve. The reality is the majority of our members fall within the intermediate and or professional, one of those two. So if you are a free member, a foundation member, you're just going to look hard at a few things. Go look at your financial budget. You've got to look at what your plan is. How much support do you need? And if you're still not sure by the end of the webinar, some of you, I've still got a few more slides. I want to show you a deal in a minute. If by the end of the webinar, you are not sure, what I want you to do tomorrow is I want you to speak to Alani. And Alani is very good at understanding people's journeys, where they come from, where are they, and which membership level would suit you the best. All I can tell you is that I do know from stats that the majority of the members are a mix between intermediate and professional. And this is a big difference. Some of you said to me earlier that you've got negative cash flow property. So some of you may have properties that look like this. This was Jay Barkhazen, right? He's now a property coach. He's a commercial agent. He is killing it. He's doing developments. But when he started off, this is how his first deal looked like. Because he thought that's how you do property. He thought that you buy a property and the agent told him it's okay to lose money. So he lost money. Fortunately, he came across a guy called Dave McGlashan, the guy behind the scenes. And Dave said, what the hell are you doing? You know, let's show you how to do an assisted sale. So Dave actually worked with Jade in the network to give Jade the education to go, Jade, yes, you're losing money. Let's get rid of it. Let me show you how to do it the right way. That is a few years ago. Jade then learned how to get it right. His very first deal with the network was an assisted sale. He went into a joint venture partnership with a seller. They flipped the property and he made profit out of it. As soon as he did that, as soon as he got that first deal, what did he get? Got confidence. He got belief. He thought, geez, if I can do one, I can do another. So he did another, did a student accommodation. And for those of you that know him, if you don't know him, Jade will also be working with me on the Mastermind in the future. And now Jade is just buying up properties. Because here's what we realized. When you have the knowledge and the confidence and the support and the tools, you'll very quickly realize in a few years, you'll soon quickly realize that the issue is you. It's your mindset. It's your ability to believe in what you can achieve. Every single one of you can be a Jade, can be a Dave, can be a Daniel Kazadi, can be a Robin Booth, can be an Andrew Walker. You've just got to get that confidence. And that is why SAPIN exists. For the people starting out, have a look at this very small deal, right? Hazira is a very small deal. So Jay came across a private seller in Port Elizabeth. This thing was run down, dirty, stinky. Daniel, what do I say when I say those words? Right? Cha-ching. Because first-time buyers would walk in and go, oh my gosh, I can't buy that. What do we say, Dan?
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. You know, the dirtier the property is, the more smelly the property is, the more cha-ching opportunity it gives us negotiation. Jay could see through all those bad photos. The floor was messed up and the walls were all gone. The toilet was broken. But Jade went in there. I think he didn't spend much. I think it's 35 grand on the refurb. Fixed the property up. There's a before and after. Put the property straight back on the market. Bought it for 100. Spent 35. Attorney fees were only 10 grand. Holding costs were 3.2. He borrowed every penny from an investor, 170 grand at 18%. All this happened very quick. This wasn't a length. This is a back-to-back deal that he did. If you don't know what a back-to-back deal is, you talk about that in the fundamental course. He put none of his own money in. He sold it for 280. That's what I'm saying. It's a very small deal. So I'm talking to the beginners now. Even if you wanted to get into property and you want to keep your risk low and you want to flip a property, you've got to look at the return on your time invested and return on investment. Here's a prime example. Imagine investing, put it this way, is it worth spending 12,000 Rand in a year and providing you come to the party to make 100,000 Rand profits? Think about it. If you can make 100,000 Rand profit, this is a small deal, right? There's investors out there that wouldn't even do this deal because it's so small. But if you'd be willing to invest 12,000 Rand, think about it, to have the potential to earn at least 100,000 Rand. Who would do that, ladies and gents? Because you'll be silly not to. Now, that's just a small little example for the people that are nervous, that want to get started. That's just a small deal. But Jade now is doing very big deals. So you might want to take note of these. So what are the 7 golden rules that you're going to learn in the SAPIN professional membership and the intermediate? So you want to make sure that you make your money when you buy. So you've got to understand how to read a deal, how to analyze a deal, what to look out for, to look at the market value of properties. When you get into a property, you're going to make sure that in your offer to purchase or when you're in a deal, that if things do go bad, how do you get out of the deal? Always have 2 exit strategies. Always buy for a qualified demand. The property price might look great and the property itself is amazing and you're like, wow, I can buy for the best price, but there's no demand for the strategy that you want to implement. You've got to do your research and you've got to follow the money. So Emma and Tom in Durban, they bought here in Joburg, they followed the deal, they followed the money and they leveraged the team. Very, very important. Become a money raiser. So you need to become very good at raising money. So Ben, I spoke about Ben before at the beginning, the young 24-year-old who bought 6 properties. And I've said to Ben, because he's pitching for Investor of the Year, and he's been entered into most growth. I said, but geez, Ben, you don't have any cash. Because I learned how to raise money via angel investors and joint venture partners. When you master that, money's not a problem anymore. And this is where Intergen comes in, part of the SAPIN membership. Be safe and be legal. There's some great deals out there, but they are not legal. They don't have the zoning, they don't have the plans. They're overcrowding properties. As professional properties, be safe, be legal, and take massive action. Would you all agree with that, ladies and gents? Kerry, would you agree with that? Hajira, would you agree with that? Tristan, what do you think? Tambi, Terence, Sunel, good to see you, Sunel. Stephen, Sabelo, Philip, do you all agree with me, or am I just like rambling on and like, geez, what does that walk about? And Perry, Maxis says agree, absolutely. So can you see that with property? So Dexter, you'll know this, and Sabelo will know this, and Jamina will know this, and Daniel. There is a process that we all need to follow. And sometimes people get lost because A, they think they know it all, or B, they get too excited and they don't look at the basics of property investing. And they just try to do things their own way, but very quickly they make some mistakes. And we are here to help you avoid the mistakes. But remember this, ladies and gents, and I've always said this, you're going to pay your school fees either way. You can't not pay school fees. You're either going to pay to get the support and the education, because nothing's free in this world, unfortunately. You're either going to pay for it, or you're going to try to do everything yourself. And you, unfortunately, and I hate to say this, but at some point, you're going to lose money. The difference with the two scenarios is scenario one, where yes, you've got to invest in yourself. Dexter, you know that, Jamina, Jean-Paul, I mean, most of you know this. At least you know what you're in for. The problem is, and this is what I've seen with South Africans, the guys that went out and did it themselves without the support, they don't know how much, and I've got this from you, Nico, it's true though, they don't know how much they were going to lose, and they've ended up losing hundreds of thousands of rands. But it's the network, when things go bad, is getting the network together to protect you, and that you can't put a price on. I know that from experience. And Nico, you know that as well, don't you? Jean-Paul says, 8 golden rule. I like that, Jean-Paul. Don't get cocky. Don't think you know it all. Absolutely. So look, you just got to decide where you want to fit in. I'm going to ask my team to post a link where you can get all these benefits. Feel free to take photographs of this if you want. Some of you are foundation members, which is fantastic. So you may be a free member and you want to upgrade to the foundation membership. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to spend too much time on the foundation membership. I want to focus more on intermediate and professional. And Jamina, I'm going to bring you up. So everyone, I want you all to meet Jamina. She will come on about 5 minutes time from now. And I want her to share her experiences with this. So with intermediate membership, so Dexter, you're on this membership, aren't you? So unlimited lifestyle reports. So Dexter's there and he's analyzing 10 deals or 20 deals. He gets access to unlimited lifestyle reports. He gets 240 TPN reports. He wants to ensure that he's investing in the right area where landlords are actually collecting rent. He doesn't want to buy in an area in South Africa where the numbers of the property look good, but the collection of rent is actually very bad. So those are the tools that you'll get with your intermediate membership. You'll also now, this is a new benefit. So now as an intermediate, you get 1,250 we give back to you to go into the academy to keep getting educated, because you should never stop educating yourself. Premier events, please all note the 20th of October this year. So 20th October, we are running a premier event. It's going to be live in person in Johannesburg, all around developments. So for those of you that want to learn how to develop a flat in the back garden, like what Dan's busy doing, some of you may want to do a development of 5 units. Some of you may want to start doing high-rise buildings. The 20th of October is only for intermediate and professional members, and the whole evening is around how to become a developer. What are the common mistakes that investors are making. How do you get it right? Is it fair to say a lot of you, not all of you, a lot of you do aspire to becoming a developer where you do want to build your own student accommodation, or you do want to build your own flats at the back. But remember, it's not as easy as what people say it is. So that is the benefit of intermediate and professional, is the ability to attend, or the exclusivity of these premier events, right? And yes, we will still keep, some will be virtual, some will be live in person, and yes, you will be able to attend the monthly group coaching and the legal support on property deals. There's also a whole range of benefits. Your foundation benefits will be in here as well. So there's videos around structure and tax videos for your property business, monthly market updates from myself. So this is a new benefit as well for all the memberships, where just every month I'll do a 5 to 10 minute video sharing with you what we're seeing within the network. Which areas are we seeing capital growth? Where are the good rental areas in South Africa? And just whatever's happening in that month, if there's tax changes, legal changes, where are students having success within South Africa? What is happening in the market right now? So I will be doing that. And of course, you'll also get a free will with the intermediate. This is one of the most popular ones, the professional membership. In fact, I think most of you are on this right now. And if you're not, you seriously want to look at it. And then what I want to do a little bit later after Jamina is I actually want to share an offer with myself, with all of you. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just hang on for 10 more minutes. Okay, so here's some new benefits with regards to the professional membership. The on-demand OTP support with Law Shield. Please write that down. So the reason that you'll become a professional member is you want to invest in property. I'm sure you all agree with that. And it's giving you the comfort. It's giving you the comfort to know that you have attorneys on demand if you need offer to purchase support. So that's brand new. That's a massive value add. The monthly mastermind sessions are only for professional members. I'm personally going to be taking it over. I'm on a big mission to see every single one of you succeed. So I'll be bringing my team on. So that's this Thursday evening for the professional members. I'd love for you to join. That's massive honor. That's accountability and goal setting. On top of that will be the monthly group coaching and legal support. And then, as I said, I'll be giving you 2,500 back for courses and coaching, whatever you need. Remember, you never stop learning. So that's also a brand new benefit. Another added benefit is you'll get up to 40% off of attorney transfer fees. So yes, as investors, when you buy the property, the seller appoints the attorney. But if you can negotiate for the seller to use your attorney, depending on what the purchase price is, depends on the discount. So I recently had a student who I think the value was like 4.5 million. So the person's getting the investor's getting 40% of the transfer fees. Don't quote me on the number right now, but it's something like 60 grand or 70 grand or something like that, that the individual's saving because of the value of the property and the discount that they are getting. So just those, ladies and gents, just those first few items at the top, if you utilize it and you take action, is worth being a professional member. On top of that, you get all the other benefits. So yes, you get Lightstone, you get TPN, you get invited to the premier events, but also as a professional member, you will also have the ability to pitch your deal. Imagine being at, I'll just use an example, whether it's Durban, Cape, but here in Joburg, the Bryanston Country Club. Let's assume there's 80 investors in the room, and you've got a deal, and you've got to raise 5 million or 2 million. We'll give you the ability or the opportunity to stand up and pitch the deal to, ladies and gents, here's the deal. I've got my proposal packs. And yes, in the fundamental course, we're going to show you how to put a proposal together if you need to raise money for a deal. And then you'll have the opportunity to pitch the deal. We've had, even whether it's virtual or live, we've had such big success of our students, of our members, raising capital for a deal. Or it could be that you go, but Andrew, I've got the capital. I can't find a deal. Yes, you have the opportunity to stand up or speak virtually to say, I've got bond affordability, I've got capital, I'm looking for a JV partner, where we can start connecting our members. And that is why the professional membership is so key, and it works very well, because think about it. You're being held accountable, and the goal setting, I'm going to ensure that because I'm taking it over. There's the monthly mastermind. there's the support, there's the legal support, there's money back within the Property Academy, there's money off your transfer attorney fees, and now you get to attend the premier events where you can pitch your deals. That to me is just massive value. And in fact, Jamina, because you are on now, and ladies and gents, after Jamina, I want to share something with you. I want to share what I consider to be an irresistible offer. Jamina, can I get you live on air?
I'm here. I hope you can hear me.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And yourself, Andrew?
Brilliant. I can see there that you have entered Investor of the Year, and you've gone into the innovative category. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. I'm going to click stop share so we can have a conversation. So, I mean, Jamina, you've been through coaching, you've used the SAPIN network. Just, I think, introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What type of deals are you doing? And let's talk about why are you a SAPIN member?
Okay, I am a property investor since the year 2009. And looking back now, had I been a member of SAPIN, I would have been a billionaire by now. But I have been in the property space I started doing flats, buying, flipping, and renting out. But eventually I scaled up. I now do multi-lets and student accommodation. I'm in the process of scaling up. I'm now looking for bigger deals. I'm no longer doing the buy to rent, one unit. I'm now buying blocks of flats.
Absolutely. And you're busy doing that guest house, aren't you?
Yes, a very exciting deal that we are busy with right now. A guest house that we bought, and it is in the process of being rezoned. We're actually going to get 28 units out of it, and the rezoning is at an advanced stage. So that's quite an exciting one.
Okay, excellent. Yes. And tell me, maybe just give us 1 or 2 or 3 benefits. So there's quite a few new people on the webinar this evening, and we mustn't take it for granted. You all know the benefits of being intermediate or professional member, but just share with the audience, for the people that are new, what are some of the benefits, or why are you part of the network?
Well, being part of the network gives you so much comfort and confidence approaching deals. I'll tell you one way, having access to Lightstone and TPN. With TPN, you can, and Lightstone, you can do your area research, find out what are the trends in the area. One that I use the most is Lightstone, because any deal that I see, I can quickly look at it. You are able to see how much was it bought for, are they owing the bank, and so on. Then it gives you another traction. You know now how much to offer, and you can offer a lower amount confidently knowing that the seller does not have a bond. That's one option. Another one that I like the most is the fact that the network that you're surrounded by, it's a network of property professionals, people that are in the space, and they are so comfortable sharing the information with one another. For example, I was recently looking for a member of the Power team, and it was so easy to get somebody referring. I was looking for an architect because I wanted to change my current one. It was so easy because I got somebody who has already used the services of a good architect referred to me. So now you don't just get a name and wonder if you're going to do well with that person. You get a person who has got good rapport with their clients. So that's one way that you can scale up when you're a member of SAPIN. That network, the support system of the coaches, the mastermind sessions that are done every month where you can ask any question and get answered. So that is just one investment you can do.
Absolutely. So it's the power of the network, right? It's the people around you that when you need something, instead of you going onto Google and trying to find something you don't know, you're working with trusted people within the network.
Exactly. And you're the average of the people you spend the most time with, right?
Exactly.
When you're something, the average goes up.
Absolutely. So there we go, Jamina, and thank you for your time this evening. And ladies and gents, please watch out for Jamina. She's entered Investor of the Year in the innovative category. And I'll say Within the next 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, Jamina will know if she's made it through to the finalists. So if you're behind Woman Power and you want Jamina to win Investor of the Year, Dave and myself will be announcing the finalists in about two or 3 weeks, thereabouts. So Jamina, thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you, Andrew.
Excellento. Okay, question is from Tom, are all the intermediate benefits included in the professional membership? The answer is yes. So everything that's within the foundation will be in the intermediate, and everything that's in the intermediate will be in the professional. So when I showed you the professional benefits a few minutes ago, I couldn't go through, there are so many, I couldn't go through them all. I was just sharing with you the new benefits we brought in for our members and the big benefits that'll make a huge difference. So we've just rebuilt the SAPIN portal. It'll be ready in about 2 weeks' time, plus minus. So there'll be a better user experience for all of you in terms of logging in to the SAPIN portal, buying tickets, looking at when the next event's going to happen. And through there, you'll access. We record all the other webinars, the content webinars. So we have webinars around business and tax, webinars around how to get started, webinars around creative finance, webinars around bank finance, so many different type of webinars that we record that in your spare time, go back and watch them and keep getting the education because you keep learning. So there's a whole series on business and tax, trust and companies and how do they work. All that knowledge from myself and Bruno and Dave and all the investors lies within that portal. So yes, I spoke about the discounts and the mastermind, the group coaching. There's a whole bunch of great video content for you in the portal. You can't put a price on that. So what we'll do, ladies and gents, we've answered quite a lot of questions this evening behind the scenes as well that I can see, which is great. I hope you all got some value out of tonight. I want to see you all succeed in property. I want to see you all get out and take action. And every single one of you will have a block somewhere along the line. It could be finance or time or confidence. That is why SAPIN exists. That is why you're going to be part of the mastermind, of the group coaching. Let the team and let the network help you leverage off of their time and their energy.